Hello and good evening, everyone. Welcome to today's session on healthy bones by Dr. Payal Bhargava from Divine Magic Foundation. Welcome, ma'am.
Thank you, Reena. Welcome, everyone. Our today's topic of discussion is how to have healthy bones all through our life.
Ma'am, to begin with, what is a bone?
Bones are living organs that contain bone tissue, cartilage, and connective tissue. Nerves and blood run within channels in bone to support its activities. It contains about 65% minerals, mainly calcium, providing the hardness of bone. It contains 35% organic structures like collagen and protein for strength, durability, and flexibility. Hydroxypeptide, mineral crystals around collagen designed to bear weight.
Ma'am, why bone health is so important?
Bone health is important at every age and stage of life. The healthier your bones, the more active you can be.
Ma'am, what are
What
the
are the
function of bones?
bones gives the body its shape. They support body's weight. They protect the soft organs of our body. Movement due to attached skeletal muscles, joint act as levers. Storage of minerals and fats, mainly calcium and phosphate. Blood cell formation. Red and white blood cells and platelets are formed in the red marrow of spongy bone. So as we can see, bones perform multiple functions in our body, and it is very essential for us to have healthy bones. Healthy bone is strong and does not break easily. During childhood, adolescence, and early adulthood, large amounts of calcium and other substances are added to the bones, strengthening the skeleton as it develops. Bone acts as a reserve for calcium in the body. Strong bones that contain plenty of calcium are less likely to become weak and break in old age.
Ma'am, how does a bone grow?
Our bones are living organs. It has three types of cells: osteoblasts, which make new bone and help repair damage. Osteocytes are mature bone cells which carry nutrients and waste products to and from blood cells in the bone. Osteoclasts are the ones that break down, reabsorb bone, and help to sculpt and shape it. All these processes are continuously happening in our bones. So how does a bone grow? It determines bone size. It begins in the womb. It continues until early adulthood. Bone modeling and remodeling is a process which continuously goes in our body. Bone modeling determines bone shape. It begins in the womb and continues until early adulthood. Bone remodeling maintains integrity of bone. It replaces old bone with new bone mineral balance. It involves bone resorption and formation. It occurs predominantly during adulthood. Most people don't think of their bones as growing living tissue. In fact, our bones are continually undergoing change in a lifelong process called bone remodeling or bone turnover. Our bodies are constantly removing old bone tissue and growing new tissue. From birth through our 20s, growth of new tissue outpaces removal of old tissue, resulting in a net gain. By about age 30, most people will reach peak bone mass, meaning their bones are the strongest and most dense that they will ever be. After age 30, the removal of old bone tissue outpaces formation of new tissue, resulting in a net bone loss.
Ma'am, what is peak bone mass?
This is a diagram showing life cycle of a bone. When we are small and if we have good nutrition, fruits and vegetables, milk, and if we have outdoor games and we play, then our bones will grow to be very strong. Peak bone mass reaches at around the age of 30. After that, there is a fall in the peak bone mass, and in women after menopause, there is a sudden fall in the peak bone mass leading to osteoporosis and fracture. If we take care of our bones from a very young age, the process of osteoporosis and fracture is delayed or may never happen beyond the age of 70 or 80 years. In males, the peak bone mass falls slowly. During childhood and adolescence, much more bone is deposited than withdrawn. So the skeleton grows in both size and density. Up to 90% of peak bone mass is acquired by age 18 in girls and age 20 in boys, which makes youth the best time to invest in one's bone health. The amount of bone tissue in the skeleton, known as bone mass, can keep growing until the late 20s. At that point, bones have reached their maximum strength and density, known as peak bone mass. Women tend to experience minimal change in total bone mass between age 30 and menopause. But in the first few years after menopause, most women go through rapid bone loss, a withdrawal from the bone bank account, which then slows but continues throughout the postmenopausal years. This loss of bone mass can lead to osteoporosis. Given the knowledge that high peak bone density reduces osteoporosis risk later in life, it makes sense to pay more attention to those factors that affect peak bone mass.
Ma'am, what are the factors affecting peak bone mass?
A variety of genetic and environmental factors influence peak bone mass. Genes play a large role in how much peak bone mass we have. About 65% of bone health is determined by our genes. If osteoporosis or fractures run in the family, take special note of bone development in your children. Although peak bone mass is largely determined by our genes, there are lifestyle factors such as diet and exercise that can influence whether we reach our full bone mass potential. Peak bone mass tends to be higher in men than in women. Before puberty, boys and girls acquire bone mass at similar rates. After puberty, however, men tend to acquire greater bone mass than women. Coming to hormonal factors, the hormone estrogen has an effect on peak bone mass. For example, women who had their first menstrual cycle at an early age and those who use oral contraceptives which contain estrogen often have high bone mineral density. The next very important factor, which is totally under our control, is our diet. Diet is an important factor in forming healthy bones. An adequate calcium intake at all stages of life, coupled with an active lifestyle, helps to ensure that bones are as strong as possible. It is particularly important during childhood and adolescence and early adulthood when bones are developing. Follow food pyramid for balanced nutrition with adequate amounts of fruits, vegetables, and cereals to be had. Consider adding to your diet fortified foods. Calcium deficiencies in young people can account for a significant difference in peak bone mass and can increase the risk for hip fracture later in life. Adolescence is an age where nutrition has to be considered as a main factor in controlling bone development and having healthy bones. Adolescents need energy not only for routine daily activities but also for growth. Failure to consume a well-balanced diet and adequate diet at this time can potentially retard physical growth, intellectual capacity, and delay sexual maturation. Eating well and eating the right foods can have long-term benefits like better performance in class and sports, better appearance, and a complexion that many might envy. So here we have a slide showing calcium in plant foods. Broccoli, pumpkin seeds, okra, collards, kale, turnip greens, avocado, butternut squash, almonds, green beans, coconut meat, Brazil nuts, and chia seeds are few of the foods which have very high content of calcium in it. Dairy products such as milk, yogurt, and cheese are all sources of calcium. So yogurt plain and non-fat of 8 ounce, yogurt fruit flavored low fat of 8 ounce, sardines canned 3 ounce, milk non-fat 8 ounce, cheese and ricotta, collard greens cooked 1 cup, cheese Swiss 1 ounce, cheese cabbage cooked 1 cup, tofu soft fortified 4 ounce, and kale cooked 1 cup provide a high amount of calcium, which is beneficial for us at all age groups. So in the dairy products, items like low-fat yogurt, serving as 1 cup, has a range of 350 to 400 of calcium. Milk 1 cup, cheese 1 slice, pudding half cup, ice milk, ice cream, and frozen yogurt half cup have 80 to 110 milligrams of calcium. Similarly, proteins like tofu, sardine or salmon tin, almonds, sesame seeds, kale, collards, broccoli, and other foods like vegetables, lasagna, dried figs have enough amount of calcium for a daily requirement. Another important ingredient for healthy bones is vitamin D. Vitamin D is available in salmon, eggs, cheese, fortified foods, and mushrooms. Fish liver oil have very high levels of vitamin D, and oily fish, example sardines, mackerel, and fresh tuna are also rich sources of vitamin D. Egg yolk, liver, and butter contain small amounts of vitamin D. Many low-fat spreads and some breakfast cereals are also fortified voluntarily as a skimmed milk powder. So here we have a slide showing vitamin D rich fruits and how much will be available in each type. So these are the foods we should include in a regular daily diet. Now, factors that enhance synthesis of vitamin D in our body are season, like summer months, particularly June and July, during which most vitamin D is produced. Locations closer to the equator, which get more sunlight throughout the year. The time of the day which we should be in the sunlight is generally between 10 a.m. and 3 p.m. It is common and easily made in younger generation. Limited or no use of sunscreen, sunny weather, exposed skin, and lighter skin pigmentation. Factors that inhibit synthesis of vitamin D are winter months, region north of 37 degree north and south of 37 degrees south latitude, which get inadequate sunlight during the winter. Time of the day is early morning, late afternoon, and evening hours. Age is in older age due to reduced skin thickness with age. Use of sunscreen with SPF 8 or greater, cloudy weather, protective clothing, darker skin pigmentation, glass and plastics, windows, or other barriers made of glass or plastic which block the sun rays, obesity, possible negative effect on metabolism and storage of vitamin D. So these are the factors that inhibit synthesis of vitamin D in our body. So this is a slide showing dietary reference intakes for calcium and vitamin D in different age groups, starting from infants from 0 to 6 months to 90 to 50 years old, pregnant and lactating mothers. As we see, during adolescence, we need a greater amount of calcium and vitamin D for our bones, and especially when women are pregnant and lactating, they need a higher amount of calcium and vitamin D. So as we have seen, calcium and vitamin D are important. Similarly, vitamin K is also very essential for healthy bones. It is found in turnip, broccoli, Brussels sprouts, spinach leaf, lettuce, cabbage, soybean, and canola oil. Similarly, magnesium is a must for healthy bones. It is found in spinach, beans, muffin, beans, rice brown, pumpkin seeds, and halibut cooked oil. So healthy body weight and physical exercise. Maintain healthy body weight appropriate for your age and height to support bones. Girls, boys, and young adults who exercise regularly generally achieve greater bone health than those who do not. Women and men aged 30 and older can help prevent bone loss with regular exercise. The best activities for your bones are weight bearing and resistance exercises. Weight bearing exercises such as walking, hiking, jogging, climbing stairs, playing tennis, and dancing force you to work against gravity. Resistance exercises include lifting weights and using weight machines. So if we don't exercise and have sedentary lifestyle, even if we take calcium food or calcium tablets, it will not reach our bones. Say no to drinking and smoking. Smoking has been linked to low bone density in adolescence and is associated with other unhealthy behaviors such as alcohol use and sedentary lifestyle. People who begin smoking at a younger age are more likely to be heavier smokers later in life. This fact worsens the negative impact of smoking on peak bone mass and puts older smokers at additional risk for bone loss and fracture. The impact of alcohol intake on peak bone mass is not clear. The effects of alcohol on bone have been studied more extensively in adults, and the results indicated that high consumption of alcohol has been linked to low bone density. Experts assume that high consumption of alcohol in youth has a similar adverse effect on the skeletal health. So here's how your bones suffer when you smoke. Smoking impedes the hormone calcitonin, which builds bones. It increases the hormones cortisol, leading to bone breakdown. Smoking damages blood vessels, interrupting the supply of blood to the bones, causing fracture. Nicotine and free radicals kill osteoblasts, which are the cells that make bones. So in our country, anemia is very prevalent, and we should know what is the effect of iron deficiency on bone health. Iron uptake, if sufficient, it leads to bone resorption, equal the bone formation, balanced bone homeostasis, so it has good bones. Whereas when we have iron deficiency or anemia, it leads to bone resorption more than bone formation, which leads to bone loss, which leads to backache, your legs will pain, you will go down in the old age, and it may lead to fracture also. So coming to the effect of obesity on bone health. Obesity, that is decreased energy expenditure, leads to sarcopenia, that is muscle mass loss. Obesity, fat mass increases, which leads to inflammatory cytokines, accelerated muscle mass loss, which further leads to sarcopenia and muscle mass loss, which decreases bone mass and increases the risk of fracture in bones.
Ma'am, how does weak bone present in children and adults?
As we can see in this photograph, in children, it leads to rickets and there will be bending of bones. How it is shown in the picture, all the bones of the kid will be weak. In older women, it will lead to osteoporosis. That is, you can see this woman, she'll be bending down, her height will be less, and there will be chances of increased fall due to disbalance in the gravity and fracture. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for such an excellent presentation on the topic of bone health. Ma'am, I'm sure the viewers will take advantage of the guidelines you have given to them for maintaining healthy bone throughout the life span. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you, Reena.